So there you have, the Election Commission has given us the poll schedule for the big elections of 2024. General elections 2024 for the 18th Lok Sabha will commence with voting on the 19th, 19 April, Friday the 19th, will conclude on the 1st of June with the final countdown, the counting taking place on the 4th of June. So that's the big story that we have for you. From the 19th of April all the way to the 1st of June is when the general elections of 2024 will take place. Those are the dates to look at: 19th April, 26th April, Friday, then 7th May, so a bit of a gap of 10 days, then the 13th of May, 20th of May, 25th of May, and then 1st of June. Three states, West Bengal, Bihar and Uttar Pradesh, will have a 7-phase poll, but all the others will have a counting, all the other states will have shorter phases. Remember, Andhra Pradesh will have assembly elections along with Lok Sabha, that's on the 13th of May, and Odisha will have a 2-phase poll, 13th and 20th of May. Counting 4th of June. So remember, last time counting took place 23rd. So we've now got counting taking place almost 12 days later compared to what it was in 2019. Rajat Sethi joining us, political commentator. I'm also joined by Javed Ansari, senior journalist. To you, Javed, first, your first takeaways, anything that strikes out for you. As I said, it seems that the poll process, if anything, is only getting more and more elongated. And we are now going right into the month of June.
Yes, it is, and it's on expected lines. But there is one question that still remains unanswered. I don't know if somebody will ask the EC, or maybe he'll volunteer with information. What is the hesitation? What prevents the EC for going in for 100% VVPATs? That is something, the Election Commission has gone to great lengths. The Election Commissioner has gone to great lengths to try and protest his innocence, prove his innocence, prove that there is a level playing field. Well, if you've done so much, then what prevents you from taking the final step? Provide VVPATs, a paper trail for every vote that is cast. So then, doodh ka doodh, pani ka pani ho jayega.
So the Chief Election Commissioner has still not answered that contentious question of VVPAT. At least I didn't hear it at the press conference. Javed Ansari saying what stops the Election Commission from doing 100% VVPATs as has been asked for by the opposition parties in particular. The government would say, or the EC seems to suggest, that would be double counting. Essentially, you would be doing both you would be doing both EVMs and paper counting as a result, Javed.
There's no harm, so long as it proves beyond any reasonable doubt that elections were free and fair. It is worth the wait.
Okay, let's get another view. Rajat Sethi, do you go along with what Javed Ansari said, that the Election Commission, apart from EVMs, should be doing 100% VVPATs, which means the verified paper trail will be right across every polling booth and not randomly selected ones, as has been the case in recent times?
Well, logistically speaking, would it be possible, not possible, is something that the Election Commissioner can only answer. But, so far we've seen that all the audits that have been performed on all of these VVPAT machines have largely been pretty well accepted by the public. And, that randomization test is still on. And I think from a logistical standpoint, this seems to be a safe middle ground. Ideally, yes. I mean, if everything else, especially on handling the logistics, is sorted, you can eventually look at another general election where VVPAT would be compulsory. But I think for now, this seems to be a settled issue. What is going to be interesting to watch is that this long extended cycle going all the way into deep summers of India. North India would be in the grip of Loo as well as summer waves. So far, elections have largely concluded by 23rd, 22nd May. But entering into June would be something interesting to watch out as to how does the voter turnout get impacted because of this.
Mr. Atal Bihari Vajpayee and Pramod Mahajan for that. If you recall, in 2004, the election cycle was to take place in October. They preponed it by 5 months under pressure, they say, from Chandrababu Naidu at the time, who wanted Andhra Pradesh election cycle to coincide with the general elections to take advantage of the Vajpayee image. And guess what? Both lost. Chandrababu lost to Y.S. Rajshekhar Reddy, and so did Atal Bihari Vajpayee. So if we are to blame anyone for the summer election, we should turn to Chandrababu ji, since both Pramod Mahajan and Atal ji are no longer with us. Javed ji, that you are a lucky man, that you are now semi-retired, if I may use the word. I know good journalists never retire, but that was a better time to do elections, Javed, October to December.
Look, nothing gets a political journalist juice flowing than covering elections. Whether it is the height of winter or summer, if there were elections, I at least loved it. I loved sweating it out, especially in the dust bowls of UP and Bihar and Northern India. So I quite loved it. Yes, in an ideal situation, if it was, in winter, then there is this issue of fog, and in some parts there's, it's so cold that people are reluctant to come out. So be that as it may, I think people in India.
We're trying to get your audio fixed, Javed. We're having a slight problem with your audio. We'll just get that fixed in a moment. Just to also say, there was some reports suggesting that maybe the Election Commission could go with simultaneous elections also for Jammu and Kashmir. Remember, the Supreme Court has said that assembly elections should be held in Jammu and Kashmir by the end of September. And there were some suggestions that maybe the Election Commission will explore the possibility of holding assembly and general elections together. That's been ruled out clearly with this schedule. So you'll probably have August, September being the months where more likely elections will take place in the state of Jammu and Kashmir. But those are the numbers that, as I keep, those are the dates that matter. And stretching into June, remember, monsoon also comes in certain parts of the country, but Kerala is in the earlier part of the election, so that shouldn't be a problem. It's going to be North India that's going to be awfully hot. There are those who suggest you could be heading for one of the hottest Mays in June ever. That's the climate. The political temperature also, of course, will continue to rise. But Rajat Sethi, who does, in your view, an elongated poll like this help? Does it help the BJP because it simply has more resources?
It's if you look at, I've just got the map where the phase-wise distribution is made. And it's a pretty interesting graph. I haven't seen this kind of a movement of forces yet. The biggest planning that the Election Commission has to do is to how do you move your security forces from one corner to the other corner, phase by phase. And that is the biggest consideration or sort of the constraint that an election commission has to operate with. They're starting off with Tamil Nadu. They're also clearing, I think, parts of Chhattisgarh. They're also getting entire Uttarakhand done in the first phase and half of Rajasthan. So they're all like in 4 different places. They're going to concentrate security, central reserve police forces, and then try and move them in and around various cons. We are also seeing Northeast. Bunch of northeastern states are going into elections early on. So you can imagine that even in the Northeast, where security remains a concern, the first Arunachal Pradesh will finish off, Nagaland, Assam, part of Assam will also get over, and then Manipur. Half of Manipur is getting over electorally in the first phase itself. And by second phase, you will have almost the entire Northeast done. We're also seeing that
so you're basically saying that some of the states where security is a concern get over pretty early.
You're getting them out of the way in the first
That's
phase.
right.
That's what I'm saying.
That often happens, and of course the big challenge remains states like West Bengal, Uttar Pradesh, and Bihar. It used to be really Bihar, then it became Uttar Pradesh, and now it's West Bengal. These are the 3 states where you will have a 7-phase poll. Let me just go to our correspondents for a moment. Suryagni Roy is joining me from Kolkata. Also joining me from the national capital is our correspondents here as well. But first you, Suryagni, tell me expected lines that you will have a 7-phase poll in West Bengal. It was 7-phase last time as well. Are you getting any reactions there from political parties in Kolkata?
Well, even in 2019, it was a 7-phase elections, and popular belief was that yes, it might turn out to be 7-phase or maybe a 6-phased elections, and that's what it turned out to be, 7 phases. The Trinamool hasn't reacted so far, but let's not forget that when the ECI officials were over here, they had specifically met them, and in a written letter to them, they had said that let's do only one phase, because you have almost you have 920 you're sending 920 companies of central forces for the elections, so let's do it in one phase. But it's not one, it's 7 phases, and yes, this is a very important aspect of the elections that we'll see over here in West Bengal, that 920 companies of central forces will be deployed for the elections in West Bengal. I think that it is the highest. Second is Jammu and Kashmir, where 600 plus companies will be deployed. So that gives a sense of things, how the Election Commission of India is looking at West Bengal. And mind you, when the ECI chief was speaking, he mentioned that no bloodbath, no violence will be tolerated. We had seen in 2019 there were multiple reports of violence when the elections were happening in West Bengal. So that will be a very, very important aspect to see what happens with so much of central forces that will be deployed. And in a short while from now, we are expecting that the Trinamool Congress will be coming out with their own version, and we will not be surprised if they are not happy with the 7-phase election, because they wanted a 1-phase election. Back to you.
Okay, let's go now to Amit Bhardwaj. He's been standing by here in the national capital. Also joining us is Abhishek Mishra from Lucknow. But to you, Amit, Delhi votes, I can see, on the 25th of May. That's in phase 6, just one day after my birthday. So I will have my get my birthday present by voting early morning on the 25th in Delhi. You're at the Congress headquarters, I can see, at the moment. Any reactions that you're picking up to a 7-phase election?
Well, Rasdeep, Delhi is definitely voting in the 6th phase. That's towards the end of the 25th May. And the reaction from the Congress party is expected shortly from here on. There will be a formal press conference where the senior leaders of the Congress party will be not only responding to the 7-phase elections, but also in the manner and fashion the entire election has been, strategized by the Election Commission of India. Also on the questions of VVPAT, paper counting, all that, possibly the reaction from the Congress party will be coming in. And very interestingly, there could be suggestions or comments made by the Congress party also about the state elections which are to happen in different states around the Lok Sabha election itself, including that of state of Andhra Pradesh and Odisha. But the big leaders of the Congress party, the stalwarts of the Congress party, are possibly focusing right now for the mega rally that is to happen tomorrow in Mumbai. And what we are given to understand is that shortly from now, the Congress in the AICC, there will be a press conference very soon. So we'll be getting the first reaction of the Congress party as well, as far as the Lok Sabha elections are concerned, the phases are concerned, and the strategy that has been deployed by the Election Commission of India for the general elections. But coming back to the national capital, it's a very interesting battle that is expected out here. The Aam Aadmi Party has already declared 4 names. The 4 candidates have been announced, but the Congress is yet to announce the name of the 3 candidates who are to be fielded in the national capital. And today, the election dates have been already announced. So that also speaks a lot about the preparations as to in what state things are in the national capital. Back to you.
Interestingly, and I'll ask my producers in a moment to put all the details state by state, because I think whichever part of the country you are, you need to know when your voting is. We just spoke about Delhi being on the 25th of May. Just to tell you, Karnataka will vote in 2 phases on 26th April and 7th May. Karnataka, if you're in Bengaluru, Mysuru, it's 26th April and 7th May. Tamil Nadu, if you're in Chennai, Coimbatore, will be on April 19th. So Tamil Nadu, one of the few states, single phase, Tamilians known to conduct elections very efficiently. Andhra Pradesh, Remember, it's both Lok Sabha and Vidhan Sabha here. Big fight there. 13th of May. Telangana also neighboring state on the 13th of May. If you're in Hyderabad, put it on your calendar. 13th of May. Producers do put each state also now one by one on our graphics. And Kerala, 26th April. So Kerala done and dusted in one day in April. Tamil Nadu done and dusted in one day in April. So Tamil Nadu will be over on the first day of the polling. So the two states where the BJP is weakest, many would believe, Tamil Nadu and Kerala, they didn't open their account in both these states. That's over and done with. The Prime Minister's southern push will be over in the very first phase itself. Interestingly, Karnataka also gets over pretty early by the 7th of May. So basically, southern India is over by the 13th of May. So the first 3 weeks will be southern India, and then the battle shifts to the Hindi heartland. If you're looking at it geographically, that's how you've got to see it. Abhishek Mishra, you're there in Lucknow. 7-phase poll in UP as well. Again, no surprise. It was what, 6 phases last time? Or 7 really last time as well. So UP and Bengal and Bihar are the 3 states that the EC will take particular care of, either because of fear of violence or just the sheer size of these states.
Well, absolutely, Rajiv, and that is why Uttar Pradesh is once again going to vote in all 7 phases. The voting will begin from the western part, usually it begins from there, and will move towards the Awadh region, and then ultimately as the eastern Uttar Pradesh, that is the home ground of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Now, what is also very interesting is that Lucknow, the capital, will vote on the fifth phase, and Varanasi and the other very important parts of the eastern phase will be voting on the last phase, that is on 7th. So particularly, it's a massive, preparation on the ground as well. We have seen how BJP has already begun their preparations on the ground. And even, in terms of numbers, UP has always been very significant. And the deployment of the security forces and to make sure that the election is smooth, such an arrangement has always been witnessed, and it is once again very, very much evident. What is also very important is now we will certainly witness now one by one how immediately now the tickets will be announced, because India Alliance so far, barring some of these seats by the Samajwadi Party, the Congress has not yet revealed a single candidate in Uttar Pradesh. They're fighting on a few seats which were given by Akhilesh Yadav in the as part of the alliance. Also, Mayawati standing all on her own. 9+7 candidates has already been given by her. So that is something which is also interesting. A lot of heat to this election. Indeed, last time she was along with Akhilesh Yadav, a Mahagathbandhan, but this time it's between BJP, India Alliance and Mayawati, in a way will certainly affect the voting trends and also the vote share which she's claiming to be. So that is what is very important. And another thing is that the accumulative vote share of Congress and Samajwadi Party, which last was approximately 24%. So if they are going to exceed that and in alliance, that is something which remains to be seen, because BJP has already touched 49.98% of vote share in 2019, and this time they're all set with Mission 80, which is they're claiming, but practically also it looks very feasible for the BJP to get at least 70 plus in Uttar Pradesh, and that is why all these 7 phases are going to add on to the big tally of the BJP, which is ultimately 370 plus, which the Prime Minister has all openly, challenged. And at the same time, UP once again will be very significant, adding on to the victory of the BJP if they are looking at it. Yes.
Okay, Abhishek Mishra saying how the road to Delhi always leads through Lucknow. So the BJP aiming big there in UP. Most polls giving the BJP as of now the big advantage in Uttar Pradesh. Aishwarya Paliwal tracks the election commission for us. There was a question, Aishwarya, that Javed Ansari had asked earlier and said that we should be asking this to the election commissioner, that why aren't you having 100% VVPATs? Why this has been a demand that some of the opposition parties, Congress says the chief election commissioner has not responded to their letters. Did anyone ask him that? Is there any possibility of a more expanded VVPAT verified paper trail with EVMs this time?
Well, let me tell you one thing, Rajdeep. This is a question which some people obviously have been asking, the opposition parties also. But one of the practical implications of the VVPAT, and this is what the Commission says at the moment, is that the duration of the elections will become longer. And they also say that whenever the VVPATs are opened and the tally is being done, that time the political agents at the moment are always standing in those rooms where the verification takes place. So they say that when this is already being done, then at the moment they don't feel a need that VVPAT should be 100%. And also they say that if you want to take out the slip and if the people just want to physically examine the slip, there are high chances that some people unknowingly might just keep the slips in their pockets, might carry them with them. Then a second problem will arise, that the number of slips and the number of votes will not tally. So that's the practical example that the Election Commission has been giving. But yes, the opposition parties have been asking for it, at least not in this election. But yes, we can expect, them increasing it by at least 10 to 20%, but in coming elections, at least not in 2024 elections.
So what is the big new thing that you picked up? Is there anything new in 2024, Aishwarya, that we didn't see in 2019?
Well, one of the biggest things, Rajdeep, the big takeaway for me from this Election Commission press conference is the immediate takedown that will take place of content on social media. They have more than 2,000 people who have been appointed as observers. They have been given the power. So, for example, if there is something that a political party tweets out which is misinformation, then that officer has the right to take down the content immediately. The political party can obviously submit an application. That is a different thing, but immediate taking down of content will now take place on social media platforms, and the Commission has reiterated that this time they will make sure that no leader, no political party is spared. If there is something that the Election Commission catches, even if it's cash or even if it's something, small mistakes on social media, that is something which will not be allowed. So if there is any kind of misinformation from any candidate, from any political party, it will be taken down immediately. The officers have now been given this power. Rajdeep.
Let me come to Kamaljeet, who's been standing by for a while. Kamaljeet, you're in Chandigarh. Temperature is going to rise with every passing week as we get into summer. Punjab goes to the polls in a single phase.
Well, it's a long-drawn battle, and remember, 28 are the seats from this region, minus J&K. So we're looking at Himachal 4, 10 in Haryana, 13 in Punjab, and 1 in Chandigarh. And obviously, there's going to be a high-pitched battle in Punjab. Bhagwant Mann has already stated it's going to be 13-0. Now, there seems to be a lot of agitation as far as the farmers are concerned. Which way it's going to be? As per the grain is concerned, Punjab has always voted against the centre, no matter whose party it has been. We'll get you a quick reaction from Malvinder Kang. He's the spokesperson and a probable candidate from Anandpur Sahib. He could be facing Manish Tiwari if he's the candidate. Sir, do tell us, how are you seeing this? एक बड़ी लंबी लड़ाई सी लग रही है पूरा तो गर्मी के महीने में 1 जून में है वोटिंग.
Definitely, it's a very long schedule of general election, but it's a very big responsibility for the voter of this country.
13-0 आप बोल रहे हैं, so your competition is with BJP, अकाली दल और कांग्रेस पार्टी. आपका तो कांग्रेस से एक बार में अलायंस होने वाला है.
नहीं, पंजाब में तो डेफिनेटली जो ऑनरेबल चीफ मिनिस्टर ने बोला है कि हम पंजाब बनेगा हीरो और पंजाब में आम आदमी पार्टी जीतेगी 13-0. तो यहाँ तो मुझे नहीं लगता हमारा कोई बहुत ज्यादा किसी और से मुकाबला रहेगा, क्योंकि 2 साल में भगवंत मान जी की सरकार ने तमाम पीपल वेलफेयर स्कीम्स इंप्लीमेंट की हैं.
How are you looking at the BJP SAD alliance, which is impending, and they said since the announcement of the election, this alliance could happen anytime. Do you think they'll be able to come back together and actually give a dent to Aam Aadmi Party, considering that as far as 2019 polls are concerned, Aam Aadmi Party could only manage to win 1, and by polls you got 1. So basically, the performance of Aam Aadmi Party wasn't really up to mark.
नहीं, उसके बाद तो 2022 में लोगों ने 92 MLA भी जिताए हैं, तो वो नहीं है. जहां तक बीजेपी और उनके अलायंस पार्टनर का सवाल है, डेफिनेटली बिहाइंड द कर्टन दे ऑलरेडी इन अलायंस. बट द थिंग इज दैट कि जो लोगों का प्रेशर है, फार्मर्स ऑन एजिटेशन, ऑल द डिमांड्स आर पेंडिंग विद सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट ऑफ फार्मर्स. तो अभी एक भी इशू तो रिजॉल्व नहीं हुआ, तो इस चीज से डर के मारे दे आर officially they are not announcing it. Already they are in alliance.
What about Congress? Because कांग्रेस के तो 8 लोगों ने जीता था, 13 में से जो मैक्सिमम था वो तो 8 था जो कांग्रेस के हिस्से में गया था. आपको लगता है कि कांग्रेस कितना पानी में है, कितना आपको लगता है कि वो कंटेंडर है?
देखिए, 2019 और 2024 के हालात डिफरेंट हैं. 2019 में तो आम आदमी पार्टी की कोई सरकार भी नहीं थी और हम अभी इनिशियल स्टेज पे थे, नई नई पार्टी 4-5 साल हुए बने थे. डेफिनेटली एक क्रेडिबल चेहरा है ऑनरेबल चीफ मिनिस्टर पंजाब भगवंत
So the chief minister is going to be leading that fight, and remember, this is going to be a one uphill task, no matter which party it is, whether there's going to be alliance or not an alliance. But yes, a test of fire or a Agani Pariksha for the Aam Aadmi Party, because remember, whatever they've been talking about free bijli and the other perks and the employment, it will boil down to as to how people view them and how the farmer agitation is being viewed. Aam Aadmi Party versus the BJP.
You know, the way it's very interesting. Delhi goes to the polls on the 25th and Punjab on the 1st. That's 6th and 7th phase. So for Arvind Kejriwal, who has his highest stakes in these two states, the elections will really start only in the third week of May. That's where he has to focus on these two regions in a way and hope to get maximum out of that. Let's turn to now to Patna. Aditya Vaibhav joins me from Patna. Aditya, good evening. 7-phase poll in Bihar, much like Bengal and Uttar Pradesh. What reactions are you picking up?
Good evening, Rajdeep. Of course, the elections have been announced, and interesting to note here is the fact that, like the other populous states, Bihar has been given as many as 7 phases as far as the upcoming general elections are concerned. But that being said, interesting is to note here is the fact that both the constituencies that fall into the state capital Patna districts, that is Patna Sahib and Patliputra, they will undergo polls on the very last day. So this is something very interesting that has come as far as the press conference of the Election Commission is concerned. But then, of course, after the elections being announced, it will be critical to see how Mahagathbandhan and NDA react to it, because both of them are actually struggling as far as their seat sharing agreement or the formula concerned is concerned. Rajdeep.
Interesting that in certain states the India alliance has not yet got its alliances together. Bihar is one, Maharashtra is the other, and now time is running out. These are states which, as has been pointed out, Bihar is going to polls in all 7 phases. If you're in Mumbai, let's tell you when Mumbai is going to the polls, because I know there will be a lot of interest there when Maharashtra is going to the polls. It's going to be one of the big states of elections in 24. Let me just pick it out there. When is Mumbai going to the polls? Mumbai to go to the polls in 2 phases. Interesting. Mumbai to go to the polls in 2 phases. Elections here will take place over 2 phases in Maharashtra. I'll get you the exact dates of the polling in Maharashtra. Maharashtra itself is going to see polling in 5 phases. Now, that's a big change from the past. Maharashtra to see polling in 5 phases. Last time, if I recall, it was in 4 phases. Now it's up to 5 from April 19th to May 20th. Maharashtra will see 5 seats on the 19th of April, 8 seats on the 26th, 11 seats on 7th May, May 13, 11, and another 13 on May 20th. So Maharashtra also, and this is, remember, a critical phase, and many will question that because that's a state which normally... Okay, let's go straight across to Karthi Chidambaram. Romya, take it away. You're with Karthi Chidambaram. Go ahead.
Well, Rajdeep, we are in Chennai, and of course, just a short while back, the Election Commission of India declared the dates for the Lok Sabha elections. Tamil Nadu, of course, will be voting in a single phase. It will go to polls in the first phase itself. So that is, of course, April 19. That's the D-Day for Tamil Nadu, and the results, of course, on June 4th. And joining me currently is Congress leader Karthi Chidambaram. April 19th is when Tamil Nadu goes to polls. All set?
Yes, I'm set. The Congress party is set. We went to poll on April 19th in 2019 as well. So it's the same date for us. The only thing is that the results are only due on June 4th. That's rather a protracted wait. I wish the Election Commission had a much shorter schedule. And all those who are propagating one nation, one election should first start propagating one nation, one polling day.
Like you rightly pointed out, the elections will be held in 7 phases across the country. While we see the Prime Minister already, in campaign mode, he's been visiting South Indian states, one after the other, even in other parts of the country. We are yet to see that mega, India Alliance campaign meeting happen, or any major campaign from the side of the Congress party as well.
No. Our campaign, our alliances campaign will fall into place now. Once the schedule has been announced, and we'll now plan it, and it will happen. It doesn't matter how many times the Prime Minister visits a state. He's most welcome to visit any part of India as many times as he wants. I hope he comes to Tamil Nadu often, savors our hospitality, and experiences our culture and cuisine.
But the BJP is extremely confident. Look at the target they've set for themselves. The Prime Minister says for BJP it's 370, for the NDA it's 400 par. Do you think that's a number that the BJP can crack this time around?
Maybe if they hold elections in Akhand Bharat, which includes Iran, Afghanistan, Pakistan, Bangladesh, maybe if they include Akhand Bharat, they could achieve this kind of number if they add up all the parliamentary seats in those countries. As far as we are concerned, as far as the Tamil Nadu Congress is concerned, we're absolutely confident that we're going to win all 39 seats in Tamil Nadu and the seat in Pondicherry. So it will be 40 out of 40. It's going to be 40 love in our favor from Tamil Nadu.
But political observers believe the momentum is clearly with the BJP. The India Alliance is even now is still sort of struggling to get their narrative right, to get the seat sharing right. Even now, seat sharing has not been declared in several states with several parties.
I'm not really concerned about what's happening in other states. In Tamil Nadu, it's very clear. The narrative is also very clear. I've traveled extensively in my constituency and in other parts as well. The anger against the BJP is palpable. The price rise in the last 10 years has made life unbearable for the common man. The confusion in the GST. And secondly, Tamil Nadu wants to reject this Hindutva politics. They want a politics which respects federalism, which respects the Tamil identity, Tamil linguistic identity, as well as the rights of the state. So it's very clear in Tamil Nadu that they want a secular federal government at the center.
But across India, what do you think are the issues that are going to resonate on the ground in this election? What is this election going to be about?
As far as I'm concerned, it's about the economy. It's about the burden the common man is facing in terms of increase in expenditure and a decrease in his earning capacity, and which means that there are lesser savings for the average family. So it should really be, the focus should be on the quality of life for the average person and the unemployment which is raging in the rest of the country as well.
We are also seeing a massive controversy brewing over the electoral bonds data that has been published. Do you think that will strike a chord with the people? Is the Congress going to pick up that narrative and take it to the people?
It's corruption 101. I mean, it's nothing more than that. You know, the electoral bonds is just a system by which the BJP was able to, extort, just extortion from, if you just do the math together, companies are raided, then they immediately, fund the BJP, or companies which have already been raided, then contribute in order to make sure that their cases are watered down, or companies which have gotten large public contracts are contributors to the BJP. So this is clear case of extortion and corruption, and we will definitely raise this as the data is getting clearer and clearer. We will raise it in the election campaign.
Okay, Karthi Chidambaram there making an interesting point that at a time when you're talking of one nation, one election, at least try and make it one nation, one day of polling. But Maushmi Singh is our veteran intrepid reporter. She's with Adhi Ranjan Chaudhary, senior Congress leader. Take it away, Maushmi. I'll have a question for Adhi at the end of it, but you first go ahead.
Rajdeep, you and I have to gear up now because the battle is on and we have to cover it very closely and precisely. So we're all set and we're getting you the first exclusive conversation with Adhi Ranjan Chaudhary, the leader of the Congress party in the Lok Sabha. Adhi Ranjan Chaudhary also has a waging battle in West Bengal. Adhi, the announcements have been made. It's a 7-phase polling. Did you expect a shorter span of elections, or it's according to your expectations, considering the government has been pitching for one nation, one poll?
See, one nation, one poll is a different kettle of fish. That is, that is absolutely another aspect of what is of the political discourse that is going on in India. But so far as general election is concerned, it was well anticipated that election will be held in phases. And this is not the new phenomena being observed by us. In earlier occasion also, phased elections we have witnessed. And this time, this is the same repetition of the past. So nothing new in the 7 phases of election that is going to be held in India.
Interestingly, the Chief Election Commissioner talks about misinformation and saying that this time round it will just not be about warnings, it will be about some strict action that the CEC will take considering the past records. Do you think that's a silver lining there?
See, the issue is that everything has to be judged by practicing, not by preaching. Our Chief Election Commissioner has elucidated the entire spectrum of general elections which is poised to be held in India. And he has been bracing his entire machinery in order to get it done. We have also today noticed the views of election commissions, including the moral, ethical, political, ideological, cultural, etc., etc.
Right.
Now, the challenge remains that what is being preached also to be complied with practices. So it is incumbent upon Chief Election Commissioner what he has professed has to be implemented across the nation. In earlier occasion also, we have sometimes faced some sorts of discriminations.
Okay, so there Adi Ranjan Chaudhary saying that the Election Commission must walk the talk when it comes to ensuring that the model code of conduct is enforced, particularly misinformation.